A very good morning to you. Welcome to Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Yes, that is what we like to do here at Motivation Monday. In a sense, to make your life better as you challenge yourself to be better. And so far this year, I hope that some of the things that we've already talked about, you're putting them into practice and you can see some incremental changes in your life. What have you already learned this year? And what are some of those things that you have put into practice this year? Please do engage with us. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786316316 is our WhatsApp line. Now, a week or so ago, the KCSE results were released. Yes. I don't know if you're a parent or perhaps you're one of those that actually received the results yourself, or you have a loved one that received the results. I don't know how you felt when you received those results, but definitely we know there are those who are in jubilation because they got the kind of results that they were anticipating, and they are overjoyous about that. You know, the kind that we see in newspapers, children being lifted up. But I know the reality is there are some of us that perhaps are disappointed, perhaps the results are not so good. But the question that we want to ask today is this: what next after KCSE? And what we aim to do today is to show you, regardless of what you got as your grade in KCSE, that there is still an opportunity for you as well. And so do join us for this conversation. And we could not have had a better guest than the one that we have today, Dr. Teresa Wambugo, who is a certified life coach and career counselor. And I want you to help me just welcome her to our show today as she helps us appreciate what next after KCSE. Welcome, Dr. Teresa.
I'm grateful and honored, and I pray that you're going to have a good and successful time.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. For the sake of our audience, just help us appreciate who you are, and so kindly introduce yourself to us.
Oh, my name is Dr. Teresa Wambugo, and I am a certified life coach. That means I coach people through issues of life, anything that you would like to know the way forward. I'm also a career guidance counselor, and I've been doing this for the last 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you so that we can get together, we can give a bit of guidance on what students should do now that they have done their KCSE.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And you're also a doctor. In what particular field did you specialize in?
Yes. As I said, I'm Dr. Teresa Wambugo. I have a PhD in business administration, human resource management.
Okay.
I also have an MBA in finance. I have a master's in human resource management, and my first degree was Bachelor of Education Arts.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's quite some progression. It seems as though at the show we are getting more and more, people within the academia world. My guest last week was actually a doctoral candidate, specializing, in law, and what an honor and a privilege. Now, so just about slightly more than a week ago, the results for KCSE were released, and that usually brings different kind of reception for different people, depending with what they got, what they expected, and perhaps what they anticipate the future to look like. So just from the very onset, even before we get into the nitty-gritties of choice selection and things like those, how are parents and those that have received their results, how are they meant to think about them?
I'll first of all talk to the students because the results are theirs. Most of the students did not get what they wanted to get because we always have higher targets than we may achieve. But I would like them to be proud of what they have achieved. Even if they did not do so well, there is life after KCSE exams. And this show, you have graciously started for us, is going to be one of those things that will shine a light on what next, the way forward. And also for the parents, your child has finished. They have done what they could do. They still have a wealth of gifts to discover. So once they have done their KCSE, the world is waiting for them. There are those who will go to college. There are those who will do apprenticeship. There is a lot to do. So this is, KCSE is not the end.
KCSE is not the end. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I was watching, I'm not so sure whether it was true or not. You know, now the problem with things shared on social media, you may not be able to distinguish truth from untruth. But I saw somebody share something. Apparently, there's a student who beat up the father because the father asked for the results. And I'm not so sure. And I guess sometimes it's that kind of, you know, misunderstanding. Because perhaps if that is true, the student is feeling maybe the result I got, I am not even, you know, well pleased with them myself. So how dare you ask me what I got?
I would understand this because I think as a Form 4 student who had finished, one of my greatest fears was getting the results. And I delayed for a week to go because I was scared. But eventually when I went, I found I had passed. So that disappointment, I think we need to work through it, accept the results that you got. Whatever the results, there is something for you, as you will show as you go forward.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, do you think it's fair that it seems, at least as we have structured things, that somebody's future, it seems, somebody's future is pegged on an exam? And so we are apprehensive and anxious when it comes to KCPE, but not even when it comes to KCSE, even more. It seems as though my life is dependent on this one exam that I have done. Is it really fair?
I think we have failed as parents and even as government because nobody's life should be pegged on one exam. We know that God has given us so many gifts. There are those who are given academic gifts. There are those who are given so many other gifts. There is something that you will be good at. And as I have guided students through choices of careers, I have met students who have done very poor in academics. But once they got what God had given them, once they identified the gift that God had given them, and they went and got skills on that, they became better even than some of those who had done academically well. So I think we should not peg everything on the academics.
All right, thank you. But now the results are out. You know, the student has whatever grade it is that they have. The parent, you know, has received their child's results. In terms of immediate step, it's only just probably a week plus after the results have been released. You know, what are the immediate steps that, you know, one needs to do?
First, I would like to tell the parents to accept the results that the child has brought. Not every child is an A-grade child. And you cannot judge what the child will do in future on this grade. So the first thing is to accept. Once you have accepted and told your child that you're okay with the grades that they brought, then you can start looking at the various options that you have for the way forward. Because this child has just spent 4 years preparing for this KCSE. What was it for? This KCSE was meant to prepare them to enter into the work world, but it is not yet time to enter the work world. They have to now get the skills for the kind of work that they would like to do, and therefore the parent should be preparing this child to think through the various options they have, depending on their interests, so that they can be trained on the various options that, on the one option that they'll choose. And sometimes it's difficult for students to choose, sometimes it's difficult for the parents to choose, but it is time to prepare. And we'll be going into that a little later. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what does that look like now? Part of the thing that I have come to realize through my own experience is there's a wealth of information that is not available. So the kind of schools that I went to, the kind of environment I grew up in, I realized there are things I got to learn, and I think it was just by God's grace. Otherwise, they would have passed me. So what should the parent know in terms of what is available, what next steps are required, what kind of information is important for both the parent and the child to know, and then when we'll be getting into the nitty-gritties of those things, it will be important.
First, I will caution the parent that education for this child is not over. A majority of parents take it that the education for the child is over, and you have washed your hands, your responsibility as a parent, and now the child is on their own.
Yeah.
But it is not over. We have not given this child the skills that they need. And because they need the skills, where are they going to get the skills?
Yeah.
So the information that the parents should be looking for, that the students should be looking for, is where are they going to get the skills that they need?
Yeah.
But even before they look at where they're going to get the skills, what is this child interested in doing? Many a times as parents, we make mistakes of, as a parent, I wanted to be a doctor. I did not make it. So I want my child to be a doctor or to go into the medical field.
You live your dream through your child.
Yeah, that is so wrong. You are a unique person as a parent. Your child is unique. They have unique gifts that God has given them. So it is important that both the parent and the child explore what the interests of the child are. That is the first thing.
Yeah.
The second thing is then going out there and looking at what are the institutions that are offering training in this particular area that the child is interested in. And there are quite a number.
Yeah.
There are colleges that the government has set up, both the TVET colleges, where people are trained in skills to do various jobs. And we also have the universities.
Yeah.
And apart from that, if it is not possible for a child to join the TVET colleges or the universities, there is still apprenticeship, where you can send a child to be trained on the job, depending on the career that they have chosen. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I like that. So I probably identified what my child wants, and I've identified an institution. So how then do I go about that process of getting my child there now to start acquiring the skills? And maybe as you talk about that, in consideration of the spectrum of the grade, could be my child got an A, could be my child got an E. How am I supposed to deal with that?
There are those who got A's, there are those who got B's. We have various categories of students who are going to be offered chances to train in government colleges and universities. When a child gets anything from a C+ to an A, they are qualified to enter a university and get a career depending on their qualifications. Because you could have an A and not qualify for some of the careers, depending on the competition that is there. So anybody with a C+ all the way to an A, if they are interested in a university education, the government of Kenya offers that. Anybody who gets C and C- is qualified to go and do a diploma course in a TVET college. Those are the polytechnics we have, the national polytechnics that belong to government, and they are qualified to go do a diploma course for 3 years, depending on their interests. If you got a D+ or a D, you're still qualified to go to a government national polytechnic or polytechnic. You will be able to do a certificate course in your area of interest. And surprisingly, if you get a D- or even an E, still you have a place to go. You're able to go and do an artisan course for 2 years in a government college. Yes, that is what is interesting, and that is what most people don't know. That if you got an E, the government realized that it is not because you are not capable of doing something, but maybe because you are not academically gifted, but you may have other gifts. So they have other courses that are usually technical that you can do at the artisan level. And if you do so well, you are still able to upgrade to go do a certificate course. So nobody is locked out. Everyone who sat for that examination and did it successfully, whatever the grade they got, has a chance to go and further their education, get skills, and eventually get a job.
Well, so you mean, and this is mind-blowing, because I think we assume there are certain grades that when you get, wewe na mambo ya masomo imeishia hapo, let me think of whatever else you can do. But there are actually this many multiple options.
Yes, that is very unfortunate to think that somebody who got maybe a low grade, that is the end of their life. It is not. I would say it is the beginning of your life. Because you start exploring what is it that I can do with the grade that God has given me. Maybe the school you are at did not have the facilities to enable you to pass. But you now have another chance to go into a college and train in an area of your interest and get the job that, your dream job. So it doesn't matter the grade.
Wow.
Yes.
I think this is hope to parents, hope to students, but maybe just speak into an area before we go into then how can they go about you know, either applying or identifying that. There's still a parent that is hearing that.
Yes.
Or a child that is hearing that. But because of already how society has been set up, for them, once they received that grade, they thought it is all finished. And even now, as they hear you tell them there are still options, it is still difficult for them to conceptualize that. Now, as a life coach, speak to that child or that parent, reassuring them that it is not over yet.
To the parent, this is your child. And whatever they are going through, you're supposed to be there to support them to go to a higher level. And there are options. So you are in that position to encourage them, tell them all is not lost. If anything, they are just beginning a new life. And remember, when you don't do so well in things that you had set out to do, the most important thing is how you move from there. You don't sit there and just cry. You don't give up. You wake up and move to the next level and do the best that you can at that level. Maybe there were various things that you faced that prevented you from doing your best. You now have another chance to go do your best. And guess what? When you go and become that best carpenter, so that I come and see the furniture you've made, I will never ask what grade you got. I'll be looking at the piece of furniture that you've made. If you become a welder and make that great gate that I'm going to pay so much for, I'm not going to ask for your grade. Nobody asks for the grade. They will be asking, who made this? I want exactly one like this. So for the parent, encourage your child. For that child who did not get the grades that they wanted, know that your life is just beginning. Ask yourself in your heart, what is it that I want to do with the rest of my life? What job do I want to do? And there are various ways in which you can decide which is the gift that you're going to follow. As a career counselor and coach, my work has been helping students who are unable to identify what exactly they want to do so that they can make a choice, the best choice according to their personality. So you have a gift that God gave you. There are not one. God gives us so many gifts. There are so many gifts that God has given us within us, which we can turn into a job, and a good job. So you just have to ask yourself, what is it that I have noticed in myself that I can turn into a job? And therefore go get the skills for that and then start your life. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that. It is my prayer and hope that that student or that parent that is out there is actually motivated to rethink. Perhaps where hope was lost, now hope has been kept alive. And now I want us to take a short song break, but I want us to, when we come now at the end of that and on the other side of that song, to begin now going into the details of what options are already available, when do things like the portal by KUCCPS are opened, what is even KUCCPS, and things like those, maybe get into that conversation. But I want us to do that after this. Welcome back. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today's conversation is one that affects many of us. Quite a number of students just sat for their KCSE last year, and the results came over a week ago. And now today we are talking about what next after KCSE. What are we supposed to think, and what practical steps should we take? Because obviously KCSE was not the end, and so what next? And for this conversation we have Dr. Teresa Wambogo, who is a life coach and a career counselor, and already some good nuggets of wisdom have come in. And so now please do join us once more as we continue with this conversation. Welcome back.
Thank you, Pastor.
Now, let's get now into the details of the next steps. I have had this institution called KUCCPS, for example. What is it, and how are students and their parents supposed to relate with it?
Actually, people just keep talking about KUCCPS.
Yeah.
KUCCPS synonym is actually, the synonym is KUCCPS.
Oh, okay.
KUCCPS. It is very difficult to pronounce as a word, so people just say KUCCPS.
Yeah.
So it stands for a government body that is charged with the responsibility of enabling students to join universities and colleges that belong to government, that are public. And KUCCPS stands for Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service.
Wow.
KUCCPS.
Okay. Yeah.
Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. Yeah.
Okay.
That is what KUCCPS is.
Oh, so that is what KUCCPS is.
Yes. And so as it says, it's for Kenyans mainly. There are times we've tried to place people who are not Kenyans and they didn't tell us, but it can't go through. It is meant to place people, everybody who qualifies to go to the university has to go through KUCCPS. Everybody who qualifies and wants to join the public colleges has to go through KUCCPS.
Yeah.
And it is only one, that is why they call it central. So it places every child in Kenya from every corner.
Yeah.
It is an online platform that is opened a few months, could be 1 or 2 months after the KCSE results are out.
Yeah.
Where they now give the chance to the student to apply to whichever course they are qualified for, according to their interests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So a month from now, perhaps they might open.
By the end of February, they'll be up. They may be up. Sometimes they delay. Yeah. So we keep on waiting for them to open. And once they open, they make it public. They put it in the newspapers. They announce it on news. Yeah. They make it public for people to know. But it is the responsibility of the students to find out, because there are many who never find out that it had been opened and miss the chance even to go to the university, although they are qualified. Yeah. It is the responsibility of every student, of every parent, of anybody who is concerned with these students to keep on following up and finding out whether that platform has been opened. Yeah. Because once it is opened, it's opened for a short time, for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. And everybody has to have filled in the applications by then. Yeah. Then it closes down so that KUCCPS can now place the students. So it's important that everybody does. Yeah. It's important that every student understands how to go online and get to the website of KUCCPS.
Everything is done online?
It is done online from whichever corner of this country you are at. You can do it. You don't need to go anywhere.
Yes. You don't have to come to Nairobi.
You don't have to come to Nairobi. You don't have to go to any university. You don't have to go to any college. All you need is a phone. Yeah. A smartphone. And if you don't have one, you can visit the cyber cafe and they'll be able to direct you so that you get on the website, and on that website you get the instructions on how to apply. Yeah. Yes.
So once one joins the website, I think during my time we had something called JAB.
Yes,
it was
JAB.
Yes, that has changed. Yes. Then one now has these various choices of careers, whether you're going to the college or to the university. Yes. Is there some sort of information that a student should know before? Yes. Because, for example, I would desire to do medicine, for instance.
Yeah, but before we go into that, a student must know what they need before they can enter into that website, because they will find there is a portal. And in that portal, you need to have your KCSE index with you. Yeah. That will be your the username. Yes. Your password will either be your KCPE index or your birth certificate number. Okay. It is either of that. Yeah. And the one that you use, the password you use, will have to remain the same throughout the period that you're going to be opening this portal. Yeah. The other thing that you will need normally has been 1,500 shillings, which is paid to this KUCCPS body, so that they can facilitate you to apply. Okay. So you need 1,500 shillings. Yeah. And once you have entered your KCSE index, you have entered your password, they allow you inside your portal.
Yeah.
Your portal as a student,
Yeah.
they know you as an individual.
Yeah.
Once you enter there, what is surprising is that they are showing you all your results.
Everything is there.
Everything.
Yes.
Whatever grade you got, your full names, the school you went to, they even have the individual grades you got for each subject.
Wow.
It's there and they can show they are showing you. Then with that, you're able to go into the various categories to choose, depending on what your grade was.
Yeah.
If you had a grade to go to the university, then you will choose the courses that come under that category, degrees.
Yeah.
And you will go choose what you like.
Yeah.
We will be talking of maybe if you want medicine or whatever, what it is that you should have. But before we go there, if you're not qualified to go to the universities, then they provide that part of the portal that enables you to choose either a diploma or a certificate course or an artisan course. So all students, whatever grade you got from A to E, that is the one portal that you use. And it will enable you to choose.
Yeah.
Pastor, you have asked, for example, if somebody wants to choose the course of medicine, there are instructions on this website on what is required for you to get into medicine.
Okay.
You will find that they have a page where they have written the qualifications of every course. For example, they will tell you that for medicine, you must have a B, at least a B+.
Okay.
But then they will tell you all the other grades you must have in the other subjects.
Yeah.
For example, you must have a good grade in mathematics. You must have a good grade in chemistry. Without chemistry, you're not doing medicine.
Yeah.
You must have a good grade in biology, and you must have a good grade in English.
Yeah.
So those are the four, which are called the core subjects for this course. Now, you may have a B or a B+ and choose medicine because the portal tells you that you're qualified.
Yeah, it's the minimum requirement.
Minimum requirement. But if you were to go by that, then you're not going to get the course because it depends on the competitiveness.
Yeah.
Maybe you had your B, but there were so many others who had A and A-. They will first pick the people who had the highest grades.
Yeah. Before
they get to you. So what do you do?
Okay.
On the same portal, you have the history of how they have been picking, for example, students for medicine, and what was the cluster points that were needed for this. And since you're able to calculate your cluster points, in fact, they are calculated for you on the first page when you enter the portal, you're able to see in this category of medicine, the last student who was taken had a cluster weight of 44. Although I'm told I'm qualified in medicine, my cluster weight is 36. Obviously, you're not going to get. So you're able to know that if I pick on this career, this university picked up with a cluster weight of this amount. This university picked with a cluster weight of this amount. And I can only qualify in this university, possibly, so that you are able to make an informed choice as you pick. Because you are qualified, but the competition may be very high. Yes.
Wow, I like that because that is important. So that somebody is not just looking at minimum requirement and assuming that automatically means you can get. So there's the minimum requirement, but you're saying there's also competition.
There is competition. So you look at the history over the years. They give you at least 5 years. What did we pick with 2023? What did we pick for medicine, University of Nairobi 2022? And you're able to see. If you have a cluster weight of 36 or even 39, and the worst they picked was 44 point something, surely once you have picked a choice of University of Nairobi for medicine, that is a lost choice. It's a lost choice.
Now, in fact, how many choices is one given to choose?
Right. That's a very good question. It's a very good question. They are very generous, this KUCCPS organization. First, if you are a person who has qualified to do a degree course, you're also given the option to choose you're given the option to choose your degree courses, but you're also given an option to choose diploma courses.
Oh, really?
Meaning that if you had a particular course you wanted to do at degree level, for example, you wanted to be a mechanical engineer, and you're unable to get, or maybe you doubt that your qualifications will get you in, you can also choose the diploma courses, a diploma course, which you'll obviously get the same course that you want. Now, for most people, this is something that I do not want students to make a mistake of. If you only want a degree, do not choose both degree and diploma.
Okay.
Choose only one, because if you miss your degree course, then you will automatically be given a diploma course. Yes. But sometimes, if you just choose degree course, and maybe after the first revision, you have missed your courses. The second revision may still give you an option of getting another degree course. So you have to think very carefully as you go to this portal to choose. Now, you asked how many choices there are. There are so many, especially for the degree courses. Students are given 6 options.
6?
There are 6 options.
Okay.
There is option number 1 that has A, B, C. Option number 1 has A, B, C. So let's say I want to do a degree in mechanical engineering. I will choose mechanical engineering. Now, number 1, I'll choose mechanical engineering, University of Nairobi. Number 1B, I have to choose the same course, mechanical engineering, JKUAT. Number C, I have to choose the same course, another university, still mechanical engineering. So for number 1, those options A to C have to be the same course.
But different universities.
Different universities. And the way to do it here is, if your desire was that University of Nairobi, put it number A. But if you are qualified, more qualified to do it in another university, although you have put number A, University of Nairobi, if you miss, make sure that number 2 you are likely to get. Choose a university where your cluster weight could be the same with what they picked in that university. But number C, you still want this mechanical engineering. And maybe you have gotten a cluster weight of 38. You have to choose, this is my advice, choose in number C a university that had maybe something lower for C, because this is the course you wanted. And if you miss it in your first choice, number A, and you miss it in B, you're likely to get it in C. But let's say you see this is still your course, and you have put those 3 universities there. You can still go to choice number 2 and still put mechanical engineering in another university that is still picking with lower. But if you say, if for example, I'm not able to get mechanical engineering in the 3 universities I chose, I think I will try for another course. Then number 2, you can choose another course in whichever university. Then there is still number 3 and number 4. So
for number 2 and number 3 and number 4, do you still have A, B, C, or
no,
those
there
ones
isn't.
is just...
Those ones are just 1. And my advice is, as you start with number 1, with courses that took a higher cluster weight, please make sure that the last one, number 4, you put a cluster weight that you will definitely get. Because if you choose all of them very high cluster weights, that is what happens with people who got an A, and they chose very high cluster weights that they could not make all the way to number 4. Then when it comes to the results, like where you are placed, they are told you're one of those who did not get. So there is a possibility, even having an A, that if you make terrible choices, you are not careful about how you're going to choose, then you may miss. And when it comes to the second revision, all the good courses are already gone. Note that. So as a student, your intention should be that with the first choice that you make, you get in. You get in. So I would ask the students to be humble. And even the parents, because I have met parents. I'm a career coach. People come to me so that I can help them through this. I have helped parents who have said, no, my child have to choose only University of Nairobi or the 4. And I tell them they are likely to miss because their cluster weight does not get there. So as a student, I would like you to be very intentional and very, what do I say? You have to calculate your chances of getting in.
Yeah.
You have a choice of getting to those universities you like in number 1, in number 2. But if your cluster weights do not allow you, when you go to number 3 and number 4, can you please be humble and take the other universities that are giving you the course that you want, even though they may not have been your first choice? Because if you don't do that, you may end up with nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, you may end up with nothing.
And that is so sad.
It is very sad. I have had A students break down because the results have come of the application and they are not placed anywhere. Somebody with a name. It's
and
very sad.
That is why somebody might say kuna kipendeleo.
Hakuna. It is the way you chose.
Oh.
So you have to be very careful. You have to think through it. You have to look at your cluster. They are there. They are put for you on the first page when you open the portal. You will know if it is the technical courses, this is my cluster point. In fact, when you come to put in the choices, they show you this university that you have chosen picked with 38 and your cluster weight is 25. They show you on that same.
Oh, they do?
They do.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that you did not know. So if somebody picked with 38 and you have 25, please can you choose another course?
just forget about that.
Forget about that one. Look at what is nearer to that one that I would love.
Yeah.
For example, if I was to tell you, a student who may have wanted to be an engineer and the cluster weight needed was 43, 42 or something like that. Maybe they cannot get into any of the universities offering a Bachelor of Science in Engineering.
Yeah.
But they could get into a Bachelor of Technology Engineering.
Okay.
For the same course. So you are a bit lower than the engineer, but you have done the course you want.
Yeah.
So even in future, although you're now going to be a technician, in future you can upgrade and become that engineer. But do not waste your chance.
Yeah.
Because now when it comes, this is usually what happens. After everyone has chosen, after the portal is open, everyone has chosen, the portal is closed. 2 weeks later, the results are out.
Yeah.
And they tell you, if you see your index number on this list, you did not get.
Where?
So you have to go back and revise.
Yeah.
But revision number 2 means that most of all the good courses are gone.
So all you're left with are...
All you are left is what people didn't want. So you find an A student that may only be admitted to a course they never wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is so sad.
That one, which even the C pluses did not want.
Yeah.
Because they did not make the right choice.
You did not choose well.
So it is very important for you, even as you go to that portal, to study what the portal is all about. Go through everything. Go through those manuals they have given. Go through the cluster weights they have picked, because they give you up to 5 years so that you can see the history. And please, be humble.
Yeah.
Choose good universities in the first 2. Maybe number 1, ABC, and 2. But number 3 and number 4,
be humble.
Can you come down?
Yeah.
Look at your cluster weight and choose according to your cluster weight.
Wow.
And you will get.
Wow. Yes. I like that whole idea of be humble. Yes. And I want us to ponder on that and think about that. Welcome back to Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today's conversation is a good one, a very important one, because it has real life implications. We're talking about what next after KCSE. If you're a parent, if you're a child, if you know somebody that just got the results for KCSE, please help them come and enjoy this conversation, but even more learn, because these things might just change a life. And helping us with this conversation is Dr. Teresa Wambogo, who is a life coach and career counselor. I am Elijah Mokaya, your host. Let's get back even now as we continue learning more on some of the options that are available. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think it was very useful in terms of what you helped us appreciate, that there are people who can lose an opportunity just because of wrong choices. I think that was really important. For colleges, somebody has logged into KUCCPS, and because of the grade they got, the cluster points, the option that they can go into is government colleges. Then what options are available for them?
The options for colleges, again, the first one is diploma.
Okay.
For those students who are going to get C and C minus.
Yeah.
Those are students who are going to study for 3 years. And in these courses, we have technical courses, mainly technical courses, but we also have humanity-based courses.
Yeah.
For example, business administration, for
Human
example,
resource.
journalism, human resource, supply chain management, all that. But we also have the technical courses, which are very many.
Yeah.
We have things like carpentry, we have welding, we have mechanical engineering, we have mechanical motor vehicle, automotive engineering, we have electrical. There are so many, you just need to go there. And there are so many colleges. There is a space for each child.
Yeah.
But every year the government is disappointed because not everyone chooses, because they don't seem to be aware.
Yeah.
There is a space for every child.
Yeah.
That is what is important. And when it comes to the diploma, my advice, the diploma courses, the next one is certificate.
Yeah.
If you have a D plus or a D, you qualify to do a certificate course.
Yeah.
If you have a D minus or an E, you qualify to do an artisan course.
Yeah.
Now, you are supposed to go there for 2 years. Once you finish the 2 years, you can upgrade and do the certificate course from artisan.
Yeah.
And if you pass in your certificate course, you can upgrade to the diploma course. And if you finish your diploma course and pass, you can upgrade to degree level. Yes. So
the journey might be longer for you, but you can get there.
Yes, you can get there. It may not be so long because once you have done artisan, let's say for 2 years, most likely you're going to do certificate for 1 year. Because some of the subjects are already covered.
Yes.
And if you have done your certificate, most likely you're going to do diploma for only 2 years. So it is not going to be too long.
It's not
it is not
too
going to
long
be
as
too
well.
long. So it depends on your heart's desire. What is it that you want to achieve by the end? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think this is such useful information, and I wish, to be honest, I had this information, and not just for me, but even for some of my friends, because it felt as though if you didn't make the cut for university, then your goose was cooked. And we are saying even that one with an E, and I think that is good to insist.
Yes.
And it is through government.
Yes.
But now, there are some that may desire to do certain courses and they log into KUCCPS. Perhaps either the courses are not offered or their grades do not allow them to have that course, but they still want to do that. Are there other available options other than KUCCPS?
There are other available options. You see, there are a few courses that may not be found within the government colleges.
Yeah.
A few. Like some of the specific medical courses you may not find. Like I found, there are so many people who are going for the nursing assistant courses.
Yeah.
These courses are offered by training hospitals.
Okay.
That you may find a course for 2 years where you are trained to be a nursing assistant because you may not have qualified to become a nurse.
Yeah.
But now that we talk about nursing, there are courses for nursing or other medical courses.
Like medical officer,
clinical officer. The clinical officer, the nurse, the dental
lab
technologist, the lab technologists. They did not used to be on KUCCPS.
Yeah.
But the good news is they are now on KUCCPS.
They're now on KUCCPS?
They are now on KUCCPS.
Okay.
Starting from last year, they are all on this platform.
Okay.
So whatever course that you want that is medical, that is going to be trained in a government institution, like MTC is a government institution,
yes.
you go through KUCCPS. Yes. So you just have to check the qualifications and you can decide whether. So when when you're looking at that portal, there is the university, there is the TVET colleges, there is then there is KMTC.
Even it's now on KUCCPS.
It is now on KUCCPS.
Because one of the things I knew, getting into KMTC some time back was work and difficult. It
was difficult. But now it has become level for every student because you just go online and you choose.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that.
Now, if you cannot find any of the courses you want on these platforms, the option for parents and students is you could think of going private. For those courses, for example, the one I've talked about. There are quite a number of others that are out there, courses that are coming on, new courses, that may not be on the KUCCPS portal. But you can find a college that is offering that course for you. For example, digital marketing. You're not going to find it on the KUCCPS platform, but you'll find it in other colleges. So it's up to you as a child, as a student who has finished, or as a parent who wants to help their student, to facilitate that student to go and get the information out there so that they can get into the college that they need to get into. Yeah.
Okay, great. So they are both private colleges if one would desire to go that direction.
Yes.
But for the ones who desire to go through the public for many reasons, and there are many reasons why one would desire the public institutions, then KUCCPS is the space.
I'll tell you why, maybe Pastor, why many parents would prefer KUCCPS.
Yeah.
The government colleges. There is one key factor that is so important, but parents are not aware of, students are not aware of, and there are many who don't apply because they are saying, on that KUCCPS portal when you go, they will tell you this course will be 100,000 fees per term.
Yeah.
If you go for the university course, the same. But our government has done something unique from a long time ago. I think for the last 10 years, I've been helping students. This has been available.
Yeah.
There is funding. Fees is paid. That is the best news that I can tell the students. Fees is paid to some extent through this, for those students who have chosen to go through the government sponsored colleges. These are both the universities and the colleges, the TVET colleges. Now for the university, it changed a bit. I am not so sure how it is, but the way it has been is that a student is able to get a HELB loan, which you can use to pay school fees, and then one day when you get a job, you can pay back the government. And usually you are supposed to apply immediately you've gotten the course, you have been admitted into a college, you've been given an admission number. Those are the things you need to go and apply for a HELB loan. And for the universities, this will help you determine, they will actually help them determine how much they can give you as a loan and how much they can give you as a grant. A loan means you're going to pay. A grant means the government has paid for you. You'll not pay. So for most of the students, the grant is government sponsorship. For those who are very needy, they are given more government sponsorship and a very little loan. Those are for the university students. But for the college students, those who go to the TVET colleges, it has been mainly a grant. It was not a loan. They were not meant to pay. So every student, from that student who got a C to all the way to E, the government has a provision to pay for you. And I have students who I have in college right now whose fees continue to be paid.
Wow, by the government.
By the government. But for you to get this grant or this sponsorship, you still have to apply through HELB. You still have to apply. The government avails for each student 70,000 shillings per year.
Really?
It avails 70,000 shillings per year. Every term, they give the student 7,000 shillings for upkeep. That is if you're in college. I'm not talking of the university students.
This college now.
When you're in college. And they pay 28,000 to the school, which they send directed to the school. They don't send to the student. So the 7,000 is even pocket money for you, maybe to buy books. So they will do that of semester 1, and they will do that semester 2. So by the end of that year, the government or HELB has sent 56,000 shillings in school fees for each student. And it does not matter whether you had an E or whatever other grade you had. You're given. That money is available for you. Then you're given 14,000. The 14,000, which you're given 7,000 one term, the other 7,000 one term, is for upkeep. They said directed to your phone.
Wow.
So as a student, tell me, why would you not apply? Even if the parent does not have the money, why would you not apply? Some colleges may be slightly more expensive, or you may have to pay for exams. But that may be the only thing the parent is required to pay. And the other thing is, that parents have to note, for the first semester, for the first term, parents should prepare to pay the whole school fees. Because by the time this HELB money is available, a semester has gone. One semester, one term has gone by. So it is important the parent looks for that money, knowing
to start off,
to start off, so that the child can get in. Because if you do not pay the first term's school fees, you're not given the admission number. And the admission number is also needed to apply for HELB. So parents, mujikakamwe, try. get that money to get your child into the college for the first term.
Yeah.
And then they must apply for help. From then henceforth, I have seen them pay very regularly. They don't miss. It may delay, but it will come.
Yeah.
All through the years. And the funny thing is some colleges are so cheap that they don't use up all the money. And you know what they do then?
Yeah.
They ask you, because they cannot give you the money. When you finish the course, they'll ask you, what other course do you want to do? Do you want to do driving? What is it that you want to do? Because government money is here for you, and we have not used all of it.
So you can still use it.
So you can do another course that can make use of the money that the government has availed for you.
Yeah.
So it is a very good chance for every Kenyan student who went to secondary school and did an exam, KCSE exam, to get skills. What if you are not sure what skill you would like to get?
Yeah.
Can you make a decision on one and take advantage of this thing that the government has done for the students? Think of one course, the one that you most prefer.
Yeah.
Do it. And then as you go ahead, you will know better. But you must take advantage. Take advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everyone that sat for KCSE can take advantage, regardless of their grade.
Everyone. It is not like for the universities, they decide this is category A, we are going to give more money. This is category 2, this is category 3, but you still get the money.
Yeah.
But for the college students, all students are qualified. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And whether you went to a public secondary school, or whether you went to a private, or whether you did it private,
it doesn't matter.
You are qualified to get that funding.
Wow.
So there is no reason, no reason at all why when September comes, because most colleges take students in September.
Yeah.
Every child should not be there. There is no reason why every child should not be in college in September 2025. Yes.
And I think if a parent has come this far, surely wanaweza jikakamua even for that.
Naweza waambia kitu moja for parents.
Yes, as we conclude.
Parents, your child has not completed school when they finish Form 4. They haven't. They are not qualified to do anything.
Yeah.
They are people who are going to go look for jobs there, which we call unskilled. They don't have any skill. So for you to finish your job as a parent to educate a child, don't leave it halfway. Go all the way, look for that extra money like you used to pay in high school, pay for that child to enter the college that they have chosen, then make sure they apply for help. And keep reminding them, because they apply every year.
Yeah.
Then they forget. Keep reminding them to apply.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that at least they can get a skill.
So that they can get a skill.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I think this has been very useful. Thank you so much, Dr. Teresa. It is my prayer and hope that somebody out there has been assisted.
I would like also to give maybe their phone number just in case.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, because I will have your contacts, I think it is easier when they reach out to us, and feel free kindly if you would need, because this also might be a beginning of a conversation. There's still more clarification that you might need. Feel free to reach out to us if you would need. Our guest is gracious enough to share her contacts, so feel free. But if it's an email, maybe you can share an email, but for a phone number, would like if someone reaches out directly, we can share.
It is good.
Yeah, an email?
My email is teresawangoi@gmail.com.
teresawangoi@gmail.com. Yes, feel free to send an email to her. But if you will need further contacts, she's more than willing to share that. And so do get in touch with us. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. And we'll be able to share those contacts with you. But I pray and hope that this has been useful. And so if you did KCSE, or if you're a parent of someone who did KCSE, education is not over yet. You've not yet acquired a skill. And there are multiple opportunities for you to still acquire a skill. And that is the conversation we've had. And so please do not let it just end with high school. You can go to an artisan course, you can go to a certificate course, you can go to a diploma course, you can go to a degree course. It does not matter the grade that you got. It is our prayer that this has been useful, and it will be of help to you. Before I go, let me remind you that these kinds of conversation we continue bringing you by virtue of donations from partners and men and women like yourself. And so feel free to donate to the work that we do here at Family Media through paybill number 316 and for account, just write your phone number. What next after KCSE? Well, there are many opportunities. Artisan, certificate, college, degree, all those are opportunities available. And guess what? There is even help that we can apply. We have no excuse. May God help you to make the right choices. See you next Monday.